I'm Cookie Miller, and this is Worth the Wait. Join me every week as I explore profound weight loss solutions beyond just diet and exercise, because a lifestyle change starts with changing your mind. This week's episode is sponsored by Cookie Miller Coaching, a holistic online weight loss coaching service that aims to help women who have 30 pounds or more to lose. This program is for the woman who has tried everything and is serious about making a lifestyle change. Visit apply.cookiemiller.com to book your free consultation call. We are enrolling new clients now and space is limited. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Worth the Wait. I am your host, Cookie Miller, and today's topic comes from our YouTube. So thank you so much to @VirgoFaith81 on YouTube, who asked about soreness post-workout. And she specifically wanted to know how to continue working out when sore and how to combat soreness after a workout. I'm going to break this into a few parts. So what is muscle soreness? Is it normal? What you can do about it, and how to lessen or avoid post-workout muscle soreness. So why are your muscles sore after working out? Well, the actual proper term for this is called DOMS, and that means delayed onset muscle soreness. So this usually happens around 24 hours after your workout. For some people, it even happens 48 or 72 hours after a workout. So it really just depends on the person. But you may feel like a bit weaker, your muscles kind of feel tender, and you may even notice that there's a little bit of swelling in the area. So if you were working your legs, you may notice a little bit of swelling in the legs, or if you were doing like biceps, you may notice that you see a little bit of swelling in your arms. And this is because there are tiny little microscopic tears that actually happen in the muscle fiber whenever you are doing a really high intensity workout, and especially when you're lifting a very heavy weight. And so that actually increases the inflammation in the body and in the muscle, and that is what creates what we know and what we call being sore. So is DOMS normal? Yes. It is completely normal to experience DOMS, and being sore or not being sore is not necessarily a sign of being in shape versus not being in shape. So a lot of times I will hear people saying like, oh, I'm kind of sore afterwards. And they almost say it with a certain level of shame because they assume that being sore has to do with their level of fitness. But I want everyone to be aware that it does not matter what level of an athlete you are, you will experience muscle soreness. So there are really amazing athletes, all of these amazing Olympians that we're seeing around this time, they are also experiencing DOMS. So there are some things that you can do about it, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Now, if you go and do this killer workout and then in the next few days you are just so sore, your first instinct may be to just not do anything at all, to just completely stop, to chill out, and to just focus on trying to recover from whatever type of workout you just finished. But that is actually not as helpful as you would think. So the best thing for you to actually do is to keep moving. If you just abruptly discontinue exercising just because you're experiencing DOMS, it will actually worsen the soreness. So instead of completely checking out, a better option would be for you to take an active recovery day. So this would be a day where maybe you're going for a light walk, or you're doing some gardening or just some cleaning around the house. Maybe you go swimming or do some light biking. But these are all things that you're going to do at a very reasonable, easy pace, just to keep the body in motion, because that is actually going to help with the soreness. A few other things you can do for the soreness is getting a massage. That's really nice. If you have ever heard of like a Hypervolt, I'll leave a link in the description, but it's like a massage gun. And so, you can turn that thing on and oh my gosh, it is so good. It's definitely an investment. So maybe if you can't make that type of investment now, then you go for something like just a plain foam roller. But anything like that is going to help you to really get through that repair state so that you can get back into the gym and back into working out. A few other things I usually suggest to my clients are like Epsom salt baths. So if you just get yourself in a warm bath, put some Epsom salt in there and just soak after a leg day, that is so incredibly helpful. Now on the other extreme, you can try cold recovery, and so take that bath and instead of warm water and Epsom salt, you just put a ton of ice in there and actually sit in it. Now this is like extreme level. I think this is something that I can remember doing like in high school when I ran track and stuff, and this is something that you see athletes doing. But again, if you're just trying to get your body to, to recover, and if it's that bad, hey, go for it. Sit in some cold water, and that will help you to bring down some of that inflammation. I do want to point out that, again, DOMS is essentially just inflammation of the muscle. So instead of, maybe taking an anti-inflammatory, in fact, I had a client bring that up today in our meeting, where she talked about, whether or not it was okay to take ibuprofen because she's experiencing DOMS. Well, yes, it can be okay, but sometimes for a lot of people, when you regularly take ibuprofen, it can cause other gut issues. So instead of just going through the process of just taking medication, I think that it would be better to go through some of the different suggestions that I've already given you guys, or to consider eating an anti-inflammatory diet. So that would be something, for example, like a Mediterranean style diet, and then cutting out caffeine completely, because that way, if you allow for yourself to decrease the amount of inflammation in your body, then that will possibly help you to recover sooner. So how can you lessen the effects or completely avoid DOMS? Well, you cannot completely avoid it. Like, you more than likely at some point throughout your fitness journey, you will experience a level of soreness. It is a part of it. I would just say to embrace it. It's been 8 years that I've been doing this, and there are some days that I go in and I get back into something and I am just so sore. I will say that in recent years, it's definitely not like what I remember when I first started. Like, I can remember when I first started squatting, like even going to the bathroom was like awful trying to sit down. So that has definitely improved, but that's not to say that when I go for my next PR, or when I go to a really hard workout, or maybe if I get back into CrossFit, that I won't actually experience soreness again. So it's really just a part of it. But what you can do to make that better is to keep yourself hydrated. Make sure that you are drinking enough water. You may also want to take a supplement like a BCAA, which is branched chain amino acids. This is what the protein in our body and the muscle in our body is made out of. And so whenever we take in BCAAs, or we take in protein, like in the form of a protein powder or something, pretty close to when you finish working out, so within like 30 minutes to an hour after you work out, then that will help with your post-workout recovery process. Remember to take time to stretch, to warm up, to cool down. All of those things, those are some of the basic principles when it comes to working out. A lot of times that even me, sometimes I completely will not do my stretching, and things like that. But you have to try to be a lot better about that, especially if the DOMS is really starting to bother you. So instead of immediately stopping after a workout, what I usually do is I like to hop on the treadmill or the Stairmaster or something after my workout, just to be able to flush my legs out for like 10 minutes or so, and always at a very easy pace, nothing too crazy, not like I'm trying to make it a workout. But you could even do this before, if you're just starting out, do 10 minutes on the treadmill, just easy pace before you work out, and then go do your lifting workout. And after your lifting workout, come back and do 5 or 10 minutes after, and it just helps you to flush your legs out. Now, when it comes to lifting weights and everything, we can get very excited about being able to get so much stronger and wanting to get so much stronger. But sometimes if you start to increase those weights too quickly, that is where you will feel that response from your body, especially if you haven't been maybe getting very sore and then all of a sudden you do kind of like a really big increase really fast, and then you start to experience that soreness, you know that that's exactly where it came from. So if you can, focus on increasing your intensity and your weight slowly. So you want to try small increments, like even one set. So if you're doing 4 sets of 10 reps of bicep curls with 15 pounds, okay, then if you're trying to increase, then you would come in and you would do 1 set, for example, at like 20 pounds, and then you would do your other 3 sets continuing with the 15 pounds that you were using previously. This is how slow the increase would be. You can see how much time it would take for you to get to just doing 1 full set with the new weight versus just going from I was using 15, now I'm just going to use 20 for every single set. So slowing it down a little bit is going to help your body to kind of slowly get into it and get used to lifting that heavier weight. In general, you don't want to increase by any more than like 10 to 15% at a time. So if you're using 20-pound dumbbells, for example, your next increase would be like a 22.5-pound dumbbell. Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode of Worth the Wait. And thank you again to @VirgoFaith81 on YouTube who sent in this topic suggestion. If you have any suggestions for us, please leave us a message or a comment on Instagram @WorthTheWaitPodcast. You can also follow me @CookieMiller. And if you are a YouTube listener, you can definitely leave any of your topic suggestions in the comment section. So thank you guys so much again for listening. If you have not already, please leave us a 5-star review. We love to see them, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.